Hello, Colin. How you doing?
All right.
Oh, what's this?
Show 50.
So 50. Happy anniversary, Cole.
Happy anniversary. Look, long throat.
Yeah, I won't catch it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Right, here we go then. Show 50.
It is. It's the big one. It's
unbelievable. Unbelievable. Can't
Would
believe
you have thought 50
can't
shows
believe
ago,
people are
we'd
still
still
watching.
be here.
Can't believe people are still watching.
Not just that, it's growing, Cole. And as a massive thank you to everyone who does watch every week. It's like we do this, as we always say, for you guys. The old strap line, as I always say, is for the fans, by the fans, with the fans, Don's Unplugged. That's how we started. That's how we carry on. So, look, for us, 50th is a great thing. 50 shows in. We didn't think it would necessarily be that long, but we're really enjoying it. We're really grateful.
50 minutes was an achievement.
Well, exactly. We're really grateful for all the feedback and all of our viewers out there as well. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the kind comments. Thanks for coming and telling Colin this. As I say, we never take ourselves too seriously. We do this as a hobby and we do it for you. And I can use this badge again in about 6 years' time, Cole. So thanks very much for my actual 50th. So
Lucky you. Lucky you.
Well, indeed, right? Indeed.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
yeah.
I'll take it. And
they tell you how old I am.
Well, 21 plus fat, I think, was the last time I checked, Cole. At the bottom of the screen, importantly, to carry on continuing, not just the 50th, but the 51st, and hopefully on to 100 and more and 100 up. But we are sponsored by our good friend Kaz at the Kaz Bar, outside match Gate 7 on a match day. Quality food, we all know that. But again, Kaz, thank you for your support and input. Generally appreciate it. You may not be on the show, but without you, this show wouldn't happen. So thank you.
That's true.
And
we couldn't afford it.
Well, exactly. And to John and... again, Luke, Chris, and Ryan have been on recently as well. There's lots of people. We could sit here all day.
Yeah,
really. Thank you. But again, we're in a good mood. We're in a good mood.
You like my t-shirt?
Well, there you go. Look, I've got this one on because we've got a guest on that may be related.
We have. We're showing off some of the merch, aren't we?
We are. And also, I know Mr. Matt, you did buy this hoodie as well. I saw it on Facebook, so I've got it on too as a homage to one of our favourite fans, Stadium MK. Do you know James got that signed by half the squad on the weekend?
I know. Outright disgusting.
I know. Absolutely. Anyway, before we go into too in depth, we've got a lot of good evenings, Cole.
A lot. Okay. Well, sit here quietly while you go through them.
We'll do that. We'll do that. Give you a chance to have your Greg's. And then
no Greg's tonight. No Greg's tonight.
Oh.
Unfortunately, my plans had to change very suddenly tonight, as I told you off air.
Yes.
I haven't had a chance, so...
next time I see you, I'll buy you a Greg's, Cole.
Okay.
Anyway, let's start with the chat, and then we'll get on to tonight's agenda. But we've got happy 50th show, you two Don's leg ends. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. I've not been called a leg end before, but I'll take it. I joke. It's great. Thank you, mate.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for coming on the show as well.
Yep. Ashley, Even Legends, and Colin. Greetings from the Grange Curry House in Grange Park. 4 wins in a row, back-to-back home wins since December last year. Another poor referee at the weekend.
It was a referee. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah.
Absolutely. Summarised well, Ash. Summarised it well. Ash also said, and again, we'll come on to some of this if we don't answer it now. Finally, thoughts on the new club shop.
That's on the agenda.
We've got an agenda on that and a few things to come, Ash. So hold fire on that one. Josh said, happy 50th show, gents. Has Colin got 50 minutes items from Greg's celebration?
I should have done, really, Josh. Are you right? You'd have thought Greg should have come up with a 50th anniversary package for me.
Wow. Who knows, Cole? Maybe next week.
Outrageous.
We can review. Matt said, evening, lads. Happy 50th. Evening, Matt. Thanks for joining. Matt. Andrew says, evening all. Hope you're well. Evening, Andrew. Thanks for joining. Kerry Ann's with us. Kerry Ann, as always, a pleasure.
Oh, from Kefalonia.
We've gone international. We're
our Greek branch of the Dons.
Hope you're having a lovely time, Kerry Ann.
Indeed. Have a great time.
Enjoy the sunshine, hopefully. We've got Alan. Alan's his happy 50th episode. Alan, thank you, and thanks for watching. Russ, evening all. Evening, Russ.
Russell.
Thanks for joining again. Evening. Ryan says, happy 50th. Good evening to you two, leg ends. Again, for some reason, these come up sometimes twice. Odd, isn't it? Never mind. Anyway, thank you, Ryan, for the twice. For the twice. There we go.
What word?
Evening, Chris. He said, evening all. We've got Grant. Grant says evening. Thank you, Grant. Thanks for watching. We've got Mr. Chris Turner, previous week's guest, and MK Don's legend as well. Evening, Chris. Thanks for watching.
Who looked quite good in the club the club's photograph. Him and Ryan were wearing their Don's Unplugged shirt.
Exactly, Don's hats.
Well done, lad. Yeah. Well done.
Thank you, Chris, for the congratulations. Much appreciated.
Cheers,
Grant's son says good evening. Evening, my friend. Thanks for watching.
I'm your friend.
Karen. Karen says, good evening, gentlemen. Happy 50th.
Hi, Karen.
Thanks, Karen. Always a pleasure.
Did Karen have a Don's hat as well?
I think Karen's got a Don's hat. Yeah, we did on the weekend.
Yeah. And a daughter.
And a daughter. There you go. Evening, lads. Happy 50th from Harry. Evening, Harry. Thanks for watching, mate. Hope you're well. Good to see you briefly on the weekend. Hope you like the club shop as well. Talk about that in a bit, Harry.
Yeah.
Big up, Thank you. I appreciate it, mate. I appreciate it. Good evening, happy anniversary to you from Craig again. And then Matt said, thanks, Aidan. Clearly, great minds think alike when it comes to the tops. I got it in green as well, Matt. I really like this top, to be quite honest. And also from Ryan, big up, Colin.
Big up, Colin. Cheers, Ryan. Listen, I first when I saw this T-shirt.
And you got excited. I was there. I saw you got very excited, Cole. You got very excited. And we'll talk about that in a little while with one of our guests. We will do. Anyway.
Right, okay.
Big up, guys.
Cheers.
Good evening, everybody.
Cheers,
from the QB1, sorry. And Karen said, thanks for the hats. Thanks for the hats.
No problem, Karen.
I think it's that way. Yeah, it's on that way. There we go. On the Facebook page, we've got Colin Gidd said evening. Thanks for the good evening, Colin.
We still owe him a hat. Colin, come and get your hat at the next home game.
Yes, next home game, yeah. Glenn said evening, lads. Adrian said good evening, chaps. MK Don's family, hope all is well. And Yvonne, thank you for watching as well. So we've got quite a few things to go through tonight. We'll do a few bits and pieces. Yvonne has got something that she wants to share, but I'm going to do that towards the end of the show. Yeah, I want to do that at the end of the show because last thing in the memory.
It's not jam donut, is it?
No. It's good. It's good, and it's for a good thing as well. Anyway.
Well done.
I digress.
Go on,
Carrie Ann just briefly said before we go on to the agenda, she said, "Weather's not too bad. I had a thunderstorm here today. We've got."
Cheers for you, Carrie Ann. Must be awful.
Well, they've locked down Greg's because of the storm that's coming. That's clearly what's happened there, right? Anyway, look, tonight's show we've got a lot to talk about. So we got Luke's back with his Payne's player rating. So we'll come on to that a little bit later. We have, what do we have, Cole? What happens at MK Don's quite regularly? Do you remember? Nothing. I think you'll find.
A week.
Injury of the week.
I got nothing.
Well, Maguire's injured for a few weeks, but he's back soon. Anyway,
I got the graphic. I never got it.
Well, it came on the screen. I'll do it again for you, Cole. Would that help? Here we go.
Try.
There you go. You got it that time. There we go. So, yeah, we've got Mr. Maguire. Exactly. Mr. Maguire. And also, obviously, Mr. Collins is back in training. So
that's the good news for the training room. Aaron Collins is back in training.
He is. But we'll come on to a bit more about that in a moment.
Does anybody know how long Lawrence Maguire's out for? Not long.
I think it's about 3 weeks from memory, Cole, from what I was told. But again,
really? If anybody knows.
Yeah,
if anybody knows in the Grange Park Chinese restaurant, could they let us know?
There you go. And I'm saying nothing. Ash, please let him know. We have, for our 50th show, so this is why I say there's something we're going to talk about at the end of the show, but this is for the beginning of the show, and we'll talk about that. But we have a signed shirt giveaway last season, plus a baseball cap.
Yeah, the only trouble is, the question I've had, somebody's already bloody wrecked it.
Well, you've got 20 minutes to work another one, Cole. Don't worry.
Think of another question. Okay, go on.
Signed shirt giveaway. It's last season's shirt and a baseball cap for our 50th show, which is really, really good. And talking of the club shop, which we'll talk a fair bit about, the shop relaunch, the new shop, whichever way you want to call it, we have head of MK Don's Retail, Liam Latham's going to be joining us shortly on the show as well. Ready to talk about all things the new shop, the merchandise, questions, and some Q&A as well.
Hopefully what the future holds.
Exactly that, Cole. Exactly that. But
and
really,
hopefully, when Liam comes on, people might want to suggest something. There's 200 new lines in the shop. So if anybody can come up with a suggestion and put it to Liam later, you never know. The club might produce it.
Might just do it.
Like Dean Lewitt and face masks or something. How about that?
Dean Lewitt. I've got nothing. I've got nothing, Cole. But as I say, we're really appreciative. Liam's going to be joining us shortly to talk about the new shop and all things retail from the Don side. Again, really, really grateful to have him jump on with us as well. And really nice to meet you.
I was impressed. Was you?
I was, yeah, really, really good. Really, really. I mean, again, Liam's a really nice guy. Really love what they've done already. And again, it's just the start. There's more to come. And obviously, we'll let Liam talk about it.
I mean, I went in there and I had to get out because I was spending so much money.
I went back on Sunday.
I told you, and you went back and had another go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
I went back on after the match and on Sunday. Any advice is if you're around on a Sunday, go in there. It's really quiet. You've got plenty of time without being hassled.
Okay.
You may get personal shopping assistants to help you encourage to spend your money, but I'm saying no more than that. Anyway, we will also talk about, was that the worst ref of the season so far, as Ash has already alluded to. I don't want to go into it too much yet, but it's up there, Cole. It's up there. And we also have a Bromley preview. So we've got a Bromley fan.
Yeah, with people. We got something strange going on here, haven't we? We don't really know what's going on, do we?
This is no wind up, and I'm trying to keep a straight face. So we had a Bromley fan that had to pull out last minute.
Yeah, the girl from Her Game Too, but
from Her Game Too, which is really a shame.
Georgina Weaver was going to come on from Her Game Too and a Bromley fan, but she had to pull out for a family problem, something or other. And we've had a step in at the last minute. Well, we've had a proviso, a request. We don't know quite what to make of it.
No. We've got a Bromley fan who's come on giving us their name, but wants to remain anonymous off camera. So make of that what you will. We'll see what happens nearer the time, Cole, whether they're on, if they're off.
Will your finger be hovering over the big red button?
It may well be. It may well be, especially if it's Johnny Jackson in disguise. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, we don't know. So if they come on, is the first question. And the second question is, what's going to happen when they come on? We don't know.
We don't.
Nothing could happen, I don't know.
Was it Stingray? Anything can happen in the next half hour. So I think we'll go along those.
Yeah, anything.
We'll go along those lines.
Yeah, okay.
We'll go along those lines. Oh dear. Anyway, some bits and pieces we'll talk about. Chris has mentioned it.
Later on, Sheila raised this in social media. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Cheers, Ash. Sheila raised this. I did my weekly ref thing and all the rest of it. And we've got Kirsty Dowell, who's a WSL and a FIFA accredited first season in the EFL. And obviously it's Bromley. And Sheila threw up the question, Kirsty Dowell is from Kent FA, Bromley, Kent. Now, that's very unusual. So, we might have a little chat about that later, and people might be able to give us their thoughts and how come we've got a Kent referee in Bromley. Don't get it, but there you go.
Who knows? If they win and we get some shocking decisions, I think there's a case to be answered there, Cole.
Scenario, normally they're, come from bloody place like Accrington or somewhere like that, or Sheffield or Manchester, or you're reffing in your backyard against one of your county teams is very strange to me.
It's odd. It's odd, isn't it? As you say, it is odd. But we'll see. Anyway, a few more comments just flashing up. So, Ryan and Ash said about 2 to 3 weeks for Mr. Maguire to return. Chris mentioned it. We'll mention it to Liam. I mentioned it, funny enough, on the weekend about the retro shirt. So Bob did say, now don't quote me on this for sure, but Bob, if you know Bob in the shop, retail manager of the shop, did mention that the retro shirts are in the works. What that is, how it looks, maybe Liam can explain, or maybe that's something a bit further down the line. But it is in the works, Chris, so that's really positive to hear. I did mention the A-line, the first one, to be a really good one for everyone to have. Appreciate we can't get certain logos from our past a little bit before that due to some bits and pieces that happened in our history, let's just say. Matt said, Colin, you're just like me. I bought a hoodie. Aiden's wearing the wearing on Saturday.
I love this.
Tuesday.
I think we should drop the Dons and call ourselves the Code Breakers.
Well, maybe we can ask Liam that shortly, who's so will be in the green room with us in a moment. But yeah, I mean, again, some fantastic stuff. And again, Matt, thank you for the comment. We're wearing the merch, obviously, because we like it as well. And we're really pleased that Liam will going to come on, hopefully talk a little bit more about the plans for the future as well. Ryan has said as well, the South Dodge.
You're right, Ryan. We're a bit concerned what might be happening here. But we'll see.
Saying,
the guy will probably come on and be flawless, but you know.
Well, just to clarify, not Liam, our Bromley guest, a little later on.
No,
but, yeah, exactly that. And then Matt has said as well, a bit like me on eBay, when it comes to the old Don shirts, I buy too much for my good when it comes to like Colin's displaying behind you, Matt, like I have a wardrobe that is full to bursting of every shirt I've had.
Yeah.
When I have a waistline and hair as well.
This is only a fraction, of what I've got. So
exactly, same. And yeah, I mean, we buy everything anyway, but I think as Bob said, was he introduced me as his best customer? I take that with a badge of honor, but I don't know for how much longer, given the fact that shop retailing is looking brilliant. So there'll be a challenge to that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I get that. I get what Ashley's written at the bottom. You have to declare what's. But
of course you do. Yeah, of course.
Still think it's funny that you're refereeing in your own backyard. I don't get it.
It does seem odd. No, it does seem odd, but yeah, I mean, who knows? A few more questions.
She probably hates Bromley. I don't know. Hopefully.
Well, I mean, who knows? Go. We've got a few more comments anyway on the Facebook side. So Darren's joined us. Good evening, lads. Just to inform you that the cap is holding up okay. Just a few more paint splodges, and it should be good otherwise.
This bloke is wearing my patience thin.
He loves you, really.
Do you know the story about this? He's got a Gonzo played that, and apparently he's been painting in it.
Yeah, exactly right. There we go. Luke QB1 says, always thought we should have a line of T-shirts with the logo on the front and the player name on the back. Lots of do that in US sports. Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, when I go over to America, I see a lot of that.
Yeah, good shout. As I say, we'll bring Liam on shortly. Harry said, must say Aidan seems to have a new Don's hoodie or shirt every week. You know me.
You've noticed, have you, Harry? You've noticed.
Every time I go in the shop, I come out with something, Harry. I probably kept the club in business for the last 20 years, but joking aside.
If you turn the eating off, you can put your coat on.
Well, exactly. Joking aside, I have to say, the new range. I think it was really lovely to see everyone in there taking, a supportive approach to all the new merchandise in your shop. So long may it continue, Paul. Long may it continue. Exactly. And Chris has put new content in the works.
Oh.
I know what he's talking about, but we'll save that for a little later. Okay. Look at Anthony Taylor, who's from Greater Manchester area. The referees both Manchester clubs and he's an Altrincham Town fan. There we go. There is a precedent, Cole. There is a precedent. Anyway, a few more comments and then we'll move on. Sheila says, best place to be on a Wednesday evening. Thank you, Sheila. We appreciate it.
Of course, Sheila. And it's great to have your company yet again.
Yeah. And she's been with us since show one.
And she's converted Russell. Russell is now a regular viewer. So
he's a regular viewer. Dave Boston said from the MKDSA, he said Wimbledon FC retro shirts, maybe. Dave, I'd love to see the old one. Somehow I think that's probably a step too far even for our branding. I'm sure that the licenses are owned by a certain club that we won't mention on this show. Paul said, evening, dudes. Evening, Paul. Thanks for joining, Paul Franklin. And Darren says, wearing my patience thin. Laugh out loud. Nothing to say, Cole?
No.
I'll leave it there then. Anyway.
I thought he was my mate, but there you are.
Well, he is. There we go. Anyway.
Yeah.
Look, we've left our esteemed guest in the green room for a little while now, and he's probably eating all the peanuts and drinking all the complimentary water bottles, no doubt, as well. I'm joking, of course.
How about ginger beer? We should get it. Lewis ginger beer.
Lewington's ginger beer. There you go. You can mention it to Liam as he brings him on. Well, we'll bring on Liam, as I say, everyone. MK Don's new head of retail, and Liam has been really good to be able to join us for our 50th show tonight. So we'll welcome him on the show. Liam, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Good evening, gents. How are you? And thank you for having me for such a special occasion.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Your 50th anniversary.
There's your 50 badge.
Well, not just that, Liam. I've got another 6 years and I can use it again. So it's recyclable as well. There we go.
There you go. There you go.
Anyway, look, firstly, we're all wearing the merchandise. We were very excited about the shop. And like I say,
I can see I'm impressed, and I saw your wooden wall sign as well. No, get top marks for the both of you. Thank you very much for your custom.
No, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. But I think, Liam, you know, for us as like long-term Dons fans, I think.
Can I ask a question before you start?
Yeah, go for it. Go on.
How much money did you make on Saturday?
That'd be telling.
Right, I'm only joking. Go on, Aidan. Sorry.
More than 20 quid, Cole. That's I'm definitely sure of that.
Well, I spent 174.
Enough to keep the lights on.
There you go. There you go.
That's good news.
But no, look, Liam. Firstly, as I say, thank you for joining us. And like, I know sort of some of the fans would have seen you in the shop on Saturday as well. But you know, just to give some background to everyone watching, I obviously said that you're the new head of MK Dons Retail. So I guess before we go on to the shop, maybe give some background about like yourself and where you've come from, if that's all right.
Yeah, of course. So I joined the club about 5 weeks ago. I joined in the middle of September. My background before that is I was head of retail for Nottingham Forest. So I can. And before then, I worked for a company called Fanatics, where I headed up their merchandise offering for all of their US sports leagues. So I think somebody put in the comments just before around name and number T-shirts and things like that, which would have been something that I'd have done for the US Sports League. So, so my background has been a mixture of US sports. We did our e-commerce business and we did the international events at Wembley Stadium and Tottenham and Munich and things like that. I joined Nottingham Forest to do ship retail, and then this project came up at MK Dons, which was too exciting for me to turn down. And as you can see, we're moving at pace already. So it's been good.
No, fantastic. And again, thanks for that background, Liam.
The Usain Bolt of club shops, isn't it? At the moment, it's gone mental.
It has.
But, I mean, again, it's been. Sorry, go on in.
No, go on, Liam. It's fine. Please go through.
No, I was going to say you're absolutely right, Colin. It's been pace and then some. We've been doing a lot of hours. We set ourselves a target after I joined that we wanted to increase the club footprint by 400%. We wanted to give fans something that they've not had. You know, people kept telling me in my early days what the good old days used to be like, sort of before our previous kit technical partner, and how the old shop used to look. And I kind of made it a point really early on. We wanted to get back to those days as quick as we possibly could. And we could have kicked the can down the road a little bit and delayed it. But we saw a gap between the Gillingham and the Crew game. We thought, right, let's take it on. So we shut down for those 2 weeks. The building team did an exceptional job knocking through walls, replacing ceilings and walls and things like that. Myself and my team have been hard at work designing all the new products for the store in those 2 weeks. And somehow, just about, we landed it in time for the opening on the Crew game at 10 a.m. But it wasn't without its challenges. Talk about the pace that you mentioned, Colin. We were in the store till about 4 a.m. on the Saturday morning, getting the final touches in place, ready for the 10 o'clock opening. But we made it, and so far the feedback's been nothing short of fantastic across the board, which is great.
Well, it's been absolutely remarkable. I mean, you must have been constantly had a phone glued to your ear, talking to people that were producing this stuff for you, because to get that lot in there in 5 weeks has been nothing short of astonishing, you know. And some of the ideas are coming. I mean, I particularly like the T-shirt. I love the T-shirt. Great idea. The mug, that seemed, with all the old club shirts on it, that seemed to be flying off the shelf. And I've never seen so many people in the shop. It really was. It really. I mean, I spoke to you for about 10 minutes, and I was beaming inside and worried for my wallet. And I think a lot of people were thinking the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some really clever designs in there. What we've not done is substituted pace for quality, and we wanted to make sure that there was some really clever and cool designs for every demographic, really. So we've launched new fashion ranges over men's, women's, and kids for different. I had to call on a favour or two from some suppliers I've worked with over the years who bumped our production up to the front of the queue versus other clubs, because they knew that we had this project going on to open in 2 weeks. So you're bob on. It's been non-stop with phone calls and supplier visits, and really kind of looking over the shoulder to make sure this was landing on time. And I'm glad that the vast majority of it was. And as I say, there's some really good, even with more time, I think we'd proud of. I think that the Elevate organic cotton is amazing. And then you've got detail like the Code Breakers tee that you're wearing. There's some nice touches all the way through the ranges, I think.
No, and I think just touching on that, Liam, as well, is with regards, I mean, it's been intense, as you say, but, you know, what's kind of been the process behind choosing the designs ultimately? Was there sort of a plan for that, or was that sort of, you know, engagement with fans? Was that engagement with staff? And how did he come up with the different designs overall?
For me, what I wanted to do is I wanted to spend the first couple of home games at least, just kind of being a fan, stepping in the shoes of the fans. So I sat in the stands, had a look at what was everybody wearing. You know, being a northerner myself, there's sometimes a difference in fan tendencies and preferences when it comes to products, you know, in different regions of the country. So I always ask myself the question: if they're not wearing Don's product, what are they wearing? What's the equivalent, and how do we translate that into a Don's equivalent so that they can then wear it? And that really kind of gave me here's where we need to start. There was some real greats being worn, and like I say, the hoodie that you've got on there being 100% organic cotton, I hope that you agree the hand feel is just amazing. And we wanted to, you know, we didn't just want to badge things, you know, and crest things in the standard full color crest and just repeat it. So we've done different things. We've done mono, you know, one tone crests and tonal stuff, and we've done slogan things. We've done the stamp edition that just says Dons, which gives us a bit of a nod to another team of where that heritage lies and things like that. So we wanted to be playing and inject some fun with the product so that the fans can wear it with pride. And you know, as I say, ticking that along with every demographic along men's, women's, and kids, and trying to tick off most occasions, whether it's formal, informal, away days. And this is just phase one. This is just been the beginning. We've got new lines landing as soon as this week and next, and that will carry on for in perpetuity. To be fair, it's going to keep going, and there'll be new stuff every week. So and new ideas. What's next? And new ideas are always welcome. So genuinely, if fans see me in the store, if they want to email me, think forums like this, I always guarantee that every idea will always be listened to. So whether it was the Lewington masks that I think you mentioned earlier, Colin, or you know, someone mentioned the T-shirts with name and number, every idea will be considered. If there's merit and we think there's enough of a market for it, we will absolutely look at it. That's my personal.
I mean, obviously, you've got minimum order numbers, haven't you?
Yeah,
we have, and therefore there needs to be a certain level of demand. But you know, there's ways that we can leverage flexibility in our supply chain to trial things, and if they don't work, then it doesn't cost the club a great deal of money. And then if they do work, we can take learnings from that and grow it. So that's my job essentially is testing opportunities, giving the fans what they want without being too risky with the club's money, right? Which is the fans' money essentially.
I mean, one of the big things, I don't know if you saw before you came on, and it's been talked about for a long time, Liam, is the retro range of shirts. So like on the ones on the mug, but like, you know, retro versions of those, particularly the sort of the original MK Don shirt. So, I mean, again, I don't know if that's something maybe that's been factored into discussions yet, or whether, I mean, if you can't tell us, you can't tell us. Completely appreciate that, but it is certainly a big topic of discussion within the fan base at the moment.
For sure, and I think heritage is such an important thing for a club to be proud of, and certainly, you know, MK Dons are a little bit different in that sense, in that our timeline is a little bit different. But there's not much that I can't and won't tell you. Truth be told,
I like that one at the bottom. Can you flash it up?
Yeah, again? I will do. Yeah, sorry, they're coming up as we're going. But yeah, can we get some
well, maybe we'll have a discussion. Maybe we can do a deal. But back to the heritage thing. It is absolutely already in the works. I think that a good start and introduction of a retro piece, and that mug has sold out. It went in day one, and we've got a rebuy of that landing in the next week or so.
Really?
Yeah, already? Absolutely. Fans just loved it, and you know, a supplier came to me with a version they did for another club, and it was 3 or 4 shirts. In fact, it was 3 shirts repeated 7 times over to make 21 designs. And I kind of did the quick math in my head and went, we've got 21 home shirts. Let's do them all on the mug. And they designed it for me again and delivered it in 2 weeks, and it sold out in day one. So we've got more of them landing. if anyone missed out, and to me, and that's what we talked about in terms of the test and repeat model, because I'm still learning what the fans want and what they appreciate, and that shows to me there's absolutely a demand for our history. So we've already got Sam doing recreations of our heritage shirts, and there will be a retro range in the offering in the not too distant future for sure. So it's something I'm already working on, but it takes a little bit longer because.
So there you go, fans. Retro shirts will be available soon.
Thanks, Chris. I'm sure that wouldn't sell very well in the shop.
No,
but,
well, it is Halloween soon, so maybe we get away with it.
Hey, get rid of him.
Well played, Tim. Well played. I like that one.
I'll tell you what, Liam. One of the biggest bugbears from a lot of people on social media over the years has been there's no stocking fillers, but you've covered that. Absolutely knocked it out of the park. There's something for everybody in there, isn't there?
There is, and at every price point, for me, and I hope even with the side of things, the Reebok stuff's great, and I think the fans are generally pleased with the move from Castore into Reebok. But again, we appreciate that there is a price point there for the sponsored kit, and that's why we brought in tees and hoodies at that sort of lower price point, so that there's an element of affordability all the way through. But stocking fillers especially, we've got everything in already, from car accessories to dog accessories to, Christmas, where, we've got crackers, advent calendars, and, player calendars that we've not had, I believe, in so long. So we've really, in such a short space of time, ticked so many boxes. And as I say, it's just the beginning. We've got memorabilia as well. The memorabilia is flown for us, and it's something that's historically done well for me at other clubs and things like that. And in the US businesses, but it's done so well here, and I think the fans really appreciate that element of being able to get hold of things that connects them to the team they might not have had access to before. Yeah. And again, we're making sure that the prices are affordable. Someone was in the store today that bought a Gilby framed shirt for one of the relatives. So it's great to see. It's great to see that people are.
Well, you've spoiled that surprise, haven't you?
Well, yeah. It depends who it was, though. Could be anybody.
We had a question from Matt on the bottom of the screen, if you can see. Yeah. He just said, for yourself, is one of the reasons you've done with the new shop is the ranges is that the club has more control over the retail. I think you mentioned with Castore, because it was, from what we were aware of, it was quite restricted. Again, he said we were quite restricted with the deal. So having that freedom, has that given the club, a new ability? Because not only have you got the club shop, obviously there is a concession that was in the cowshed. So is that something that you're looking to grow out as well?
100%. And the shorter answer is yes, to answer Matt's question. So the retail operation was managed entirely by our previous technical kit partner. The club wanted to bring that in-house to give us more freedom and creativity over what we could and couldn't do to that. And as part of the investment, both on and off the field, that the club's been receiving in recent times, they've brought in myself to oversee the retail business and drive that freedom and creativity. They brought in other areas, new head of ticketing and fan engagement, things like that. But essentially my role is allowed us to run with that and go, okay, right, blank slate. We're going to grow the footprint because we didn't have enough space to fit in all of this new stuff that we wanted to do. And we are in charge of our own destiny, essentially. So there is nothing now off limits. There's nothing out of bounds. There's nothing out of the question. We can do whatever the fans want us to do, essentially. And I hope that the recent launch has been a good first stage of doing that, and it seems to have.
So we can expect Christmas jumpers, can we?
They land in a week or two. You'll be pleased to know.
Fantastic.
There's not many territories we haven't ticked off, I can assure you.
So I say Chris has just put on here for an idea just to share with you, Liam, was about jumpers with key match dates and photos from games that would sell well, or photograph frames of key events.
He's got the Johnny clock. I can say I'm impressed. I hope they do well, because I love them as a kind of personal touch. I think they're great, and the craft is so well. But to answer Chris's question, absolutely. We're going to implement. We're working with some online partners that I've worked with in previous companies and previous lives that can generate product of the same quality that you can see now in store, but much more flexibly, so that there is I call them micro moments. So as Chris mentioned, if there's a particularly good game where we blow a team away and fans want to remember or commemorate that moment, that we'll be able to get those products available online within a matter of hours. You know, my background when I used to execute Super Bowls and World Series, when the winners would be crowned, we'd have the winners merchandise on within minutes. That's where I want to get us to as a club, so that we have an absolute best-in-class retail business, so that if something happens, touch wood, we win the league this year, we will have winners product that goes live at the final whistle. That's where we need to go. And it won't just be at the end of the season. It'll be those key moments throughout the season to celebrate them. So absolutely, if there's anything like that you want to celebrate, then let me know, and we can create designs pretty quickly and have them online pretty soon after as well.
That's fantastic, Liam. No, thank you for that. One other, again, what's been the surprise sellout for you in the shop? Was there one sort of item this weekend you thought, I'm surprised with that? The curveball?
Well, obviously, you always have to believe in all the products that you do, but naturally, you kind of have I always have an inner sort of pool with myself. What's gonna sell the most and what's going to sell first? And the first thing that we sold, which actually has done surprisingly well, was dog bowls. Go figure, right?
Really?
Yeah, the dog bowls have flown this year. The past few days, they've done really well. I think other bits, we did a Stone Parker jacket, which was on display in the middle of the store. I don't know if you remember. It was a real nice piece. I think internally I knew that was going to do really well because it is such an amazing piece, great quality at a real good price as well. We had to replenish that 3 times. We couldn't keep that on the shelf long enough. And the memorabilia, as I say, it's done really well. The women's hoodies as well, because we've introduced women's fashion that isn't there. We've given our female fan base something to buy. I could really go through everything and pick something out of each individual range and go, that's done really well, because it has, and it's been great for us, because ultimately when the fans purchase it, for me, obviously it means that they like the product. The revenue generated can go back into the first team to help them grow on the field. So we really kind of go full circle with this stuff, which is why I've kind of loved working in football as long as in sports as long as I have.
Again, you've talked so much about obviously the setup and the 4 a.m. But again, looking back, what was one of the biggest challenges of getting everything ready? Was there something that really stood out for you, Liam, in terms of because it's a hell of an undertaking to do?
For sure, and I think it was the time frame. It just was the pace. It's unheard of getting 200 products designed, manufactured, delivered, processed. Because even once they land at the stadium's doorstep, we've got 2 or 3 stages that we have to do to make sure it's all counted, placed on hangers, steamed so that it looks presentable. And that took a long time itself. Getting 200 plus lines in 2 weeks is just unheard of. Usually, most people, if they wouldn't have been suppliers that I knew and trusted, they'd have left me out of the room. Yeah. And we've got we only got the store given back to us on sort of Thursday lunchtime. Until then, we had to make sure that the building team had, all the flooring had arrived and the ceiling tiles and everything had been painted and new electrics wired, and everything just had to fall into place just so for it to work. And one little set of the whole thing. But we were determined that, we'd made a public commitment to open for 10 a.m. on the Crew game. And amazingly, it was in no part, like even Neil Hart, our chief exec, at 3 a.m. on the Saturday morning was in his tuxedo moving stock with us, getting it ready. Like that was the level of commitment from top to bottom that we had.
You must have had a fleet of lorries delivering stuff.
It was non-stop. It really was. And we had to have a relay staff members bringing things to and from, getting it ready. We had a real kind of work line set up to get things processed as efficiently as we could. But ultimately, we were in the gift of our suppliers and our contractors, because we were only as good as they were, and thankfully they were brilliant. So yeah, it was constantly looking at the clock and going, right, 4 days to go, 3 days to go, how close are we? And at times it looked like we'd maybe set ourselves too ambitious a target, but it just all seemed to fall into place at the 11th hour. And I think credit to everybody. There's nobody I could fault, because if one person hadn't have delivered for us, the whole thing would have come down. So time sensitivity and the scale of what we pulled off in such a short space of time was the biggest challenge.
Well, I just don't want to just congratulate you. I mean, we should congratulate the staff members for all being part of the team. I had a word with a few of the staff, and they said, you're not going to believe what time I was in here. So I was like, the transformation, it was just mind-blowing.
Absolutely. And credit where credit's due. You know what was so refreshing to see for me? I mentioned before, I came from a club further up the football pitch. I've had that sense of collaboration and team spirit. You'd have had a lot more of kind of defined duties and, this isn't in my remit, this is, and things like that. But we had everybody from HR to finance to, as I mentioned before, Neil himself, and everybody in between just sort of turning up to help us get across the finishing line. And it was so great to see, the outworking hours of the day were not really a thing because we knew we had a collective goal, and we got through it through the sport. So a massive thank you to not only all my retail staff who pitched in and did countless hours, but all the different people across various stakeholders of the business, and MKFM as well, who chipped in to get it there for sure.
No, hey, do you want to read that question out?
Yeah, I've got quite a few questions. So I want to try and fly through some, if that's all right. But Nick said there is going to be available on the website and a collection option in store as well from that side, Liam.
100%. As part of our retail growth strategy is that we need to be an omni-channel business, and what I mean by that is whatever every channel that you would expect to access this product, you absolutely will. So short answer is yes. From our website point of view, our web team are working on this as we speak. Our priority, given the short window to deliver this, was to get the products on the shop floor in time. But then every product needs to be shot and photographed and resized for the website and set up in the system. So we're working on that as we speak. I would expect new products to start landing on the site in the next few days. Absolutely everything will be up on site no later than the end of next week. And then once we catch up with that, as and when everything lands, which is brand new, it will go online in real time because we can deal with it one for one. I think he asked a question about a collection point as well. Again, absolutely. So we'll be able to click and collect online and collect from the club shop. As part of the reopening, we've extended our opening hours. So we're now open 10 till 6, Monday to Wednesday, Fridays and Saturdays. We open 10 till 8 on Thursdays now, and then we're open on Sundays as well, 11 till 5. So all of those points, once you've got the email to say your order's ready to collect, you'll be able to collect it from there. Absolutely. We'll also look to do online exclusives. So we'll get some designs, as I say, we'll be able to utilize our flexible can do designs at the drop of a hat and make them available exclusively online. So I would always recommend, as well as dropping in to see us, keep your eye on the website because there will be some designs just for the website as well.
You heard it first on Don's Unplugged, guys. There you go. Craig has basically said as well, will there be the option to branch out and do a pop-up shop back in Centre MK? Because we used to have one there, but obviously that's dropped off. So one that fans have been mentioning as well.
Would you believe if I told you, even though I've only been here 4 or 5 weeks, that's a conversation that is already happening. I can't tell you where, I can't tell you when at this stage because it is very early days, but we are looking to expand our presence in Milton Keynes, and a pop-up shop in somewhere in a prime location is in discussions at the moment.
Fantastic.
For sure.
Brilliant.
There we go. Chris is asking
car mats.
Yeah.
Car mats. Well, we've just launched our car accessories with we've got car air fresheners, with car stickers have just landed. We've got car window scarves that are about to launch. But car mats will absolutely be on our roadmap. I think one thing we also get asked for a lot so far since Saturday is bedding. That's something as when will land. It takes a little bit more time bedding because of the size and the fabric.
My missus will love that. Can we have a king
size,
please?
Yeah, for sure. That'll be good for you to, romantic evenings under an MK bed sheet. What's better? Hopefully,
Ryan's just written question for Liam. Will you be sending MK Don's women merchandise? We've already covered that, Liam. Yes, fully covered down at the Don's shop.
Yeah, it's already there, and it will be expanding in the next few days. We've got some hoodies down there already, aside from our women's training and kitwear. But we've got tees landing, we've got jackets. It's all watch this space on women's.
Fantastic. Matt's asked as well, being a gamer, so obviously got to include the gamers here as well, but love to see some console skins or controller skins. That some other clubs do. So I know you can see that you can get PlayStation, Xbox controller skins and things like that. Is that something that's being considered at all, Ian?
For sure. In my what free time I do get, I play myself. So I'm one of you guys. I'm a fan like you. That's in the works. Again, will take a little bit of time because you've got to get. It's not like a standard T-shirt template. You've got to get everything fit to the relevant console and controller, so it takes a little bit more time. But it's in the offering for sure. So yeah, watch your space, and it will happen.
Fantastic. Christine's joined us. Thanks for watching, Christine. She said, "Love your passion, Liam. What's been your biggest challenge, do you feel, so far with the shop?"
It's a great question, that, Christine Angel, is it? Yeah, I like I say, I think getting up to speed with the club enough that I had before we press go on this project, and going, right, what does the role look like, and what's going to give us an optimum assortment for the fans in such a short space of time. And then, like I said, delivering that in the window. And it's the things that you wouldn't necessarily think about once we knew we had a bigger shop footprint to deal with. It's all the things like all the wall bays and the display units, and how many arms and rails do we need to actually fit all this product. And are we getting enough?
Just reading what I'm just reading.
What's that? A T-shirt with a womble holding it, honestly, and it's done. I mean, and this is why these forums are great, because it's safe to say I thought of that myself. So it's and things like that. I said before, I'll consider every idea that will go on. I have a whiteboard in my office that any new idea that gets pitched to me, we write down. I might need a bit of space for that suggestion, but I'll write it down and we'll look at it. For sure.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, good, nice one, Grant.
Thanks for this one, Craig. I appreciate it. Life-size cardboard cutout players. Aidan will have a Hogan one. We clearly know that's a joke. But yeah, other players maybe, Craig. Other players. I mean, there's lots of things there. We've got someone on Facebook as well. I don't want to keep you all night, Liam, because I appreciate you've got
No, not at all. Happy to chat.
I really appreciate that. I mean, one of the things around, again, lots of people are saying just how grateful they are and how fantastic the shop looks. It's been brilliant. Amazing. One thing here was Adrian. He said, "Guys, will there be any special shirts like players have for Remembrance Day, i.e. a shirt with a poppy on it that will be in the shop?"
He's smiling.
You know what? We just launched this week our MK Dons edition, the Poppy badges. It's the first time we've done the kind of joint badge and Poppy edition. My background in US sports, obviously Armed Forces days and things like that, are a big part of the sporting calendar. I don't think we do enough of that personally to honour our armed forces and our veterans and things like that. Time is short before our Remembrance Day, which is in 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. But there are conversations already happening about, can we do something special, sort of unexpected, off the cuff to mark the game. We're away, I believe. I think we're playing away on Remembrance weekend. But I would like to do something that the players could walk out in that we can then retail. So I might be making a rod from my own back, but I'm going to try and make it happen.
Excellent.
No, fantastic. Another one. So Sheila has said, by the way, time to get shopping. So she'll be down there hopefully tomorrow for you, Liam. Colin said, will there be some MK Dons diaries? So I know that probably again go back to 4 or 5 years. We used to have the diaries with the crest on the front, to that faux leather effect. They were really nice, like A4 ones. I think they were, from memory.
We've got some A5 embossed blackout notebooks that are, / diaries that have just landed. They're in the shop. They're on. In fact, I can tell you exactly where they are. Where the queue system is, and the wall bays leading up to the tills with the rest of the sort of souvenirs. They're on the till side of that wall.
There's going to be a lot of poor people in Milton Keynes, isn't there?
There's a lot of poor people on this show right now.
It's all your fault.
All goes to a good cause, generating income for the team, right? So
well, no, but if anybody doesn't get anything for Christmas, it's your own fault.
Exactly.
There's something for everybody.
Yeah,
there really is. So I'm pleased the diary's already in.
Right. I mean, so Colin's mentioned on the Facebook page, so that's why I'm looking over here, about the MK Dons Poppy pin badges. Yes, Colin, we've just mentioned that, and I bought one. They were really good. To be honest, Liam, like I say, quite a few years I've been looking online, because you usually have them doing it, but they never seem to have one for MK Dons. So the fact they're in the shop this year is really, really great. MK Dons dartboards is the next one that's been mentioned.
I have to be careful with what I say with some of these things, because I don't want to give too many secrets away. But one thing that endeared me to the club was the wider facilities that we have that sets us apart from everybody else in the league. And, you know, the fact that we've got an amazing stadium that future-proofs us for our on-field growth. We've got an arena to the building, which some fans may or may not know we're hosting the darts in January, which is going to have all of the big names and big players coming in to compete in the arena. I would love for us to do some form of collaboration with, you know, the Dons and Art Stadium MK and some of the players that will be coming to play at the Darts Championship. And as part of that, we will have a darts offering for sure. So, yes, there will be darts boards. Dare I say, there might even be a limited edition MK Dons darts shirt. And, yeah, supporting accessories, flights, darts, surrounds, you name it. We're going to look to do it for sure.
Fantastic. Seems like you've got it all covered, really. I mean, you know, we're here saying, you know, if you can come up with something that Liam hasn't thought of, say it on air. But everything we say, how about rubber ducks?
Already there.
I haven't looked at rubber ducks yet, so you got me. You got me.
There you go.
There's always going to be something.
Yeah, Christmas ho Hogan shirts apparently, but there we go. So,
hey, I like that.
I like that. Hogan. Yeah, I'm conflicted, but I like that. I think one of the things again, so like with the store layout, the design, it looks absolutely brilliantly. And so, who came up with the design ideas? Was that you? Was that a collaboration within the club?
No, the planogram was me. I took inspiration from previous stores that I've run and operated, and it was a mix from footballing club shops and mega stores versus to, you know, when we take over each year at Tottenham for the NFL or West Ham for the baseball, and we kind of get to start with a blank blueprint and go, what's our optimum experience that allows the fans to see everything we've got to offer, and then combine it with the operational excellence around how quickly can we get them through the queue so that they're not stood around waiting for as long as possible and things like that. So, yeah, once I knew we had the new blueprint mapped out of here's your total space, from there, I started to sketch out, and I've still got the original sketches somewhere on my desk of, you know, lots of drawings and then erasings and redrawings and things like that to create an optimal flow. And, you know, even little touches like when you go through the double doors now and you see the crest suspended from the ceiling and the display podium with the mannequins, that's all something that I wanted to bring to the club because I think it's a great all of the new things that so yeah, from a planning point of view, that was something that was one of the first tasks for me to put together when we knew we were doing this.
No, fantastic. I mean, again, it sounds probably really weird, but my German side, as you can probably see up there, where is it? Over that way there.
Mönchengladbach, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So their club shop, when you walk in, they've got the LED lights of the logo, and it really reminded me of the film, the look of that shop when I walked in, Liam. So it really had an impact on me anyway. But I love it.
For me, the big thing for me, the difference, because I've worked in traditional retail as well. My first ever job in retail was at Matalan. And, you know, the difference for me, when someone goes to a Matalan or a John Lewis or a Next or something like that, the product is the primary reason for their visit, right? They go in because they want to shop. When someone visits Stadium MK, their primary reason is to see the team play, and rightly so. So we need to create in the store an experience for the fan that almost makes it compulsory, that every time they want to come, it's not just okay, we've got 10 minutes, let's go and have a quick look. They need that the fans want to factor time in every time they're in the area to come in and stop by in the store. And we're going to introduce new things, that there's going to be some interactive experiences and things like that we're going to implement with more time to make it exactly that. It's a fan experience, so that it's not just a rite of passage to go through, but it's something that they want to do each and every time. So we're going to have a mix of new product every time, but also, you know, activities and things going on that's going to make it a must, hopefully, for the fans when they land at MK. And part of that is, as you say, from the Mönchengladbach thing, it's you go in and you go, wow, this is what a place to be, you know?
Exactly that. No, it's definitely fantastic. Christine did mention, again, obviously this in the past, but are you going to be doing the gift vouchers? So like if people want to come in after Christmas, they can buy vouchers to come in?
For sure. They've already landed. In all honesty, we've got them ready to go. It's because it'll be new for the club, and then they'll be live hopefully in a week or two.
Fantastic. Josh, the remortgage is up soon. I may need to postpone this to get off the
swag.
If I had a pound for people who said something similar, honestly, and that is the best feedback that I can get. You know, as much as the board and the owners, Fahad, our chairman, was in on Saturday as well for the opening, and he was delighted. And ultimately, I need those people to be happy, but that you guys, the fans, are the best feedback I can get. And people saying, God, I'm going to be skint and things like that means that we're doing something right. And that's the ultimate sense of gratification for me. And does it mean we've done everything? No, and we're not going to rest on our laurels, and we're going to keep moving. But it's certainly been a good start, and seeing people worried for their wallets because there's so
but keep getting these messages about people are worried about paying their mortgage, how they're going to eat.
Yeah. Ryan's getting paid tomorrow, probably won't have anything to eat after tomorrow night, but that's good. Dave did say, and again, just on one of these, he said one of the things is, can we get a player sticker book for the kids to collect, like the Premier League collection books? Is that something that's been thought about at all, Ian?
In all honesty, it's not in the pipeline at the moment, but I think it's a great idea. I have got my pen and bear with me 1 second. My pen's gone walkabout. I've got my notepad with me so that if any ideas came up, I could jot it down. So at the moment, I've got the name and number T-shirts that I think it was Matt that might have mentioned, and Colin's Lewington face mask, but I will add that now. So player sticker books for sure. Yeah, anything that allows or gives the fans an opportunity to engage with our players. And that's something else that I think has been great around my time at the Dolphar, is that, I was lucky enough to spend some time at a sponsors dinner with the first team last week. And just what a nice bunch of lads they are. What a great group, everyone from Paul Warne down to the players and everybody in between, the kit man and the physios. They're just such a nice group of people. And they can't do enough for the fans, that sort of relationship with the sticker book that, they could collect for the players. And then if they wanted to sign them, we can look at that for sure. So stickers, from previous experience, sticker books take a little bit of time to develop. So it might be one that we do in time for next season, in time for new kit launch and new signings and things like that. But yeah, we'll absolutely look at that for a roadmap.
Fantastic. And Liam, one final sort of question, I guess, to wrap up was, is there any exclusive merch drops that you can sort of tell the guys about tonight on the show that are watching, anything to be looking out for?
There's good. As I say, there's so much. It's hard to pinpoint exactly one. I've had a lot of requests around things relating to Lewington, and we're really lucky that he's still involved with the club and is happy to support with things like this. So there's going to be very exclusively retail. I had a very exciting conversation with a local supplier today that's going to do something pretty revolutionary for the club, but I can't give too much away for that yet. I think women's fashion and kids' fashion, the stuff that we've barely scratched the surface on. There's going to be new tees for both of them that we can do, new outerwear. Once the weather starts getting warmer, we're going to do holiday gear. I think there's so much that we've left untapped, or we've only just started to tap into, that actually the breadth of assortment across men's, women's, kids' fashion alone is something that I'm personally excited about. But then on the hard and the souvenir side, there's so much more as well. I've just seen Chris's comment around the bobble hat with Paul Warne's face on it. Whilst we might not go to the extent of putting his face on it, we are looking to do a special edition that, for someone that's such a famous hat wearer, we're looking to do some kind of collaboration with him. And these are things that, only someone that is full-time working with the club can invest that time to think about. So there's going to be so much coming that I am really excited about, and I hope the fans are too. And as I say, if there is anything that might seem crazy, but, sometimes crazy ideas just work, So if there is anything that fans either want or think would be a good idea, I genuinely mean it. Whether you see me in person or my email inbox is always open. I keep an eye on the fan forums as well. I'll now be a regular watcher of this show. So if anything comes up, genuinely, please do reach out to me, and I'll always consider it, because no idea is a bad idea.
Well, we'll get you back on later in the season. I mean, you can unashamedly hang it up in the air and say this is on sale right now. And
as Colin and I run behind you and give you some cash for whatever it may be. But there we go.
For sure, as long as the money clock's up by the next time I'm on, I'll be that. Then I'll be happy.
It will. Liam, it's been absolutely fantastic to have you on tonight. You couldn't have picked a better show, the 50th. we've struck while the iron's hot. We've got you on when the shops reopen. We're saying to everybody, get in the superstore. You will be blown away. I was. My wallet was. Aiden's wallet was. Sounds like a lot of other people.
Well, I'll reiterate the point. I went past on Sunday, and I will say to everyone, it was a good day to go in because you got time to look around. You may get a personal shopper attached to you when you're asking for some thoughts around sizing as well. The guys were exceptional in the shop. So, yeah, the fact it's open 7 days, there's time for everyone to go in there. It's been a long time coming, Liam. It's been sort of 5 barren years, is this way to put it. To see you come in. Yeah, to see you come in, to see what you and the team have done is nothing short of phenomenal and exceptional. I'm really excited to have you on board with MK Dons. I'm sure the rest of the fans are. And again, a massive thank you from us for everything that you've started to do. We really appreciate it, and we're very grateful. And also, thank you so much for making the time tonight to come on.
Not at all. Genuinely, it's a pleasure. I'm really excited and part of this club. It's a great club that great things are happening on and off field, not just from the retail business. I hope the fans are seeing and appreciating the investment being made in other areas of the club, and everyone's really excited about the year ahead. I think we've got to go up, and we will go up this year, and we are now future-proofing ourselves for that when it happens. So no, I appreciate you guys taking the time to talk to me. I appreciate all the ideas that have come from the fans. It's great to see such enthusiasm and passion for not only the club but the product that we're bringing through or might do in the near future. And yeah, congratulations again on your 50th show.
Thank you very much, Liam. We'll look forward to having you back on in the near future. Yeah. You have a good one.
Pleasure.
Take care, Liam.
Until next time, you too, gents. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
What a lovely guy. Honestly, quality.
Unbelievable.
Speaking of guests, I have to say...
We've got another one.
Yeah, a massive thank you to Andrew, who has been patiently for the last 20 minutes sitting in the waiting room whilst we've been talking to Liam. And again, apologies, we'll bring Andrew on in a moment. Obviously, we had the new shop open, so we had a lot of questions to get through, which has pushed us on a little bit longer than probably we would have been. But again, Liam, it's a delight to have had him on the show. He was really keen to come on. We're really thankful to him coming on. There will be other guests that we've got coming on from the club over the next few weeks as well that are in the pipe. But we'll reveal a bit more about that as we go forward. But anyway, I suppose before we go on to the review of Crew, we'll go back to front. We'll talk Bromley, then we'll go back to the Crew review, Cole.
Yeah,
I don't want to keep you waiting.
We apologise. A lot of the regular features are having to take a bit of a back seat, but let's go. Yeah, come on.
Exactly. And I will say that Andrew was chatting to me on the private chat in the background. He has been watching the show from the start, Colin, and he said he can confirm that he is not Johnny Jackson. So
right, okay, well that's a start.
Fantastic. So no, we'll bring Andrew on. So let me just bring him onto the show. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can do. Thank you so much and again, really apologies, Andrew, for keeping you waiting so long. We've just had a brand new shop launch, and obviously with our retail manager coming on, we wanted to get through that, and it took us a little bit longer than we would have liked to get to you. So I really do appreciate your patience, and also for confirming you're not Johnny Jackson.
That's all right, no worries.
Good stuff. So yeah, I mean, before we go into sort of like the weekend and a bit like that, I think from an outside looking in, Bromley this season, I mean, it's been phenomenal. Looking at sort of where you've been, I think a lot of people were saying sort of close season about possibly favourites of being down the bottom or for the drop. You've proved all those doubters wrong. I personally thought, again, Bromley would be doing pretty well. So it's been really good to see sort of, how they've been doing and where they are at the moment. But talk us through like pre-season and sort of your thoughts so far. How have you found it so far? And what were your expectations at the beginning of the season to maybe where you are currently?
So I think we had quite a good pre-season. We had quite we played some academy teams from like the local area. We went abroad to Portugal and played two League Two teams, and we played Rotherham and Bristol Rovers, I think it was, and we won both of those games. And then the season started. We went unbeaten for the first month of the season, either winning or drawing most games, and then we were third in the league, and then we played Gillingham in the Kent derby, which I sort of heard you mention in the show, like, is Bromley in Kent or not? we're still not quite sure, to be honest, ourselves.
Well, the only reason we asked that is because we got a lady referee, and she's from the Kent FA.
Yeah. So yeah, we played Gillingham, and we were 2-0 up after 15 minutes, and then they equalised in the last minute with a very contentious penalty, and sort of since then, the results have sort of been a bit indifferent. Like we've only won once since then, which is away at Crewe a couple of weeks ago. We seem to be struggling to keep clean sheets, which, you know, in our promotion season, our success was very much built on keeping clean sheets. I mean, we had the second best defensive record in the National League the season we got promoted. You know, we had an uncharacteristic performance from our goalkeeper, Grant Smith, at Swindon. He made 2 mistakes, and then he's now been taken out the firing line. I mean, at the start of the season, it's always that that dreaded second season syndrome. You're thinking, you know, teams sort of might have found you out a little bit. But, you know, I look at our squad and think we've definitely got a squad that's strong enough to finish sort of mid-table, top half. Maybe have a little flirt with the playoffs, but I would say a successful season for us would just be finishing. I mean, we finished 11th last season, finishing around that or maybe a little bit higher. I would say if you said to me you can finish 10th, 9th, or 8th this season, I would say, yep, I'll take that right now.
Yeah, fantastic.
Bromley have always come across to me as a bit of a very unpredictable side. You look at Bromley, you never really know what you're going to get. I mean, you drew 3-3 with Tranmere last home game, and then the week before that, you drew with Chesterfield 2-2. Pretty decent side. You're unbeaten at home. You beat Barnet at first game of the season, but yeah, you know, with the greatest respect, I think Barnet was still sort of finding their feet in League Two, and probably never got up to pace. They're up to pace now, but I've always found you a funny side, if you know. I mean, that doesn't really come across well. But I mean, we struggled with you last. I mean, we had a bad season, but we really struggled with you last season. I mean, you beat us once and drew with us once, but
yeah.
Would you describe yourself as an unpredictable sort of a team that are capable of? I mean, you went and won at Crewe. I mean, that's a decent result in itself.
Yeah, it was a fantastic result. That was, considering we hadn't won for about a month at that point, and we hadn't even kept a clean sheet for a month either. I think I wouldn't say we're necessarily unpredictable. We're kind of a team where if you're going to beat us, you've got to work for it. I wouldn't. We're not the prettiest on the eye to watch. We like to get the ball in the box quite quickly. I mean, we signed Mitch Pinnock from Northampton, who he played for last season, and he's created the most chances in the EFL, I think, this season. And he's got great delivery. So, and it's basically meant that a lot of quite a few of our goals have been crossed into the box. They've been.
Well, you're the set piece champions at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, I think we are. Yeah, I don't know the stats exactly, but I'm pretty sure
I think you're about 11 or something.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say we're unpredictable, but equally, we are capable of playing the ball on the deck a little bit. But I would say if we're going to score, it's going to either be from a set piece or it's going to be from a cross from deep, headed in by either Cheek or Kabamba.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about that. I mean, again, it probably goes without saying, but you know, the big, I suppose, the big personality and the person that everyone will probably know when they talk about Bromley is Michael Cheek, who is, I think, as you say, Andrew, consistently scored goals for you and across his career. So, I mean, how have you rated him this season? Do you think he's fared better than last season? Do you feel there's a consistency there from that perspective?
I wouldn't say he's playing as well as last season, but we're trying to play a bit of a different style, ever so slightly. I mean, ever since Michael Cheek's been at the club, the team and the way we play has been built around to supply him so that he can score the goals. Whereas this season, where we've brought in Mitch Pinnock, for example, you know, Cheek's not exactly the tallest, but he still scores headers. And we're kind of almost trying to find out different ways of scoring and not be so reliant on Michael Cheek. I mean, we've got Nicky Kabamba, who, yeah, he's kind of like a clone of Michael Cheek, but
Yeah.
he's equally scored the same amount of goals as him. So I don't really know if that answers your question, but
Yeah, no, I say Kambamba got coming in, as you said, I think because he joined from Barnet, if I remember,
He
in
did,
January 25. So, again, someone else who's obviously starting to build a bit more consistency for you. One of the other ones, I mean, obviously we talked about Pinnock and the assists. I think it's 4 assists this season. Like used to say from what Colin was mentioning, but the other connection, obviously, a lot of Don's fans will want to be talking about is Brooklyn, Lulunga, because again, someone who was quite a fan favourite. Don's, again, one of those things. Sometimes you just have to, they move on, move out. But how has he been for Bromley? Do you feel he's been a good asset for you?
I mean, we've not really seen necessarily too much of him, but he normally comes off the bench for the last 15, 20 minutes, half an hour. And I would say if you ask any Bromley fan, what do you think of him? He's very exciting. Him, and you probably know all about him. He's really quick. He gets the ball and he's just right. I'm gonna beat my man down the line and try and get a crossing or try and get a shot off. I mean, I really like him. I've been thinking for a while he should probably start, but it's equally like, right, if you start him, you've got to take Pinnock out probably.
Yeah.
And Pinnock's probably been our player of the season so far. So
Right.
it's difficult. It's difficult, really. But I really like Olunga. I think he's going to be an asset for us in the future, if not this season.
I mean, he's still only, what was he, about 21? Yeah, I think he left us in January to join you. He's only started 3 times, as far as I'm aware. But just nipping back in the conversation a little bit. Michael Cheek, I mean, obviously, there ain't anybody in League 2 that doesn't know Michael Cheek. You hear Bromley have scored and you go, oh, is that Cheek scored again?
Yeah.
Did you fear? I mean, I know how old is he?
34, I think he is.
Yeah. Did you think that somebody might come in for him in the summer?
I mean, there are rumours that a few clubs were in for him. I think I won't mention the name because I know you probably don't want us to mention them. But I think they were in for.
Who's that? Then? Are you talking about a pub team?
Sorry, you can mention it, Andrew.
A team from West London, we'll say, were in for him. And a few, I think there was rumours that Wigan were trying to buy him. I think, there's also rumours that he put in a transfer request. We don't know for sure if he actually did or not. Me personally, I was never really worried he was going to leave, just because he'd been with us. When you look at Michael Cheek's career, he'd always stay at a club for a season, then move on. We're the anomaly. He's been with us for 5 or 6 seasons. So
it's his 7th season.
And he's got a lot of friends at the club, and the way he's basically he is a Bromley legend just for what he's done. Yeah. So I get the impression as well. I know he lives somewhere in Essex. I think he might live near Colchester.
Right.
I never thought he was going to move to Wigan just because he's very much like, you see him on social media. He's very much a family man. So I never thought Wigan was going to be a possibility. And then they obviously loaned Paul Mullin from Wrexham. So that kind of put paid to that. And I never really thought Wimbledon was an option. I just couldn't see it. So, some of the Bromley fans are panicking, saying, "Oh, we're going to lose Michael Cheek." I never really thought it was going to happen, and I think once we played Olympian against Shrewsbury and he started, I thought, right, that's it. He's not moving, because there's no way our chairman or Andy Woodman would let Michael Cheek go once the season started.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to be on probably top money at Bromley, would you say?
I'd imagine he's probably our highest down, and maybe him or Byron Webster, maybe.
Oh, I mean, not knowing. I mean, so forgive me. Would you want to estimate how much he's on a week?
Oh, I wouldn't like to guess. Probably, I'd probably say in terms of a year, he might be on about 70, 80 grand, maybe.
Right.
For a year, I don't know, but I wouldn't like to guess.
But a fair whack for League 2. Sure.
If he's not our highest donor, he'll be near the top.
He's certainly going to be in the top 2 or 3.
And like you say, I think with his age and the fact he's settled in a locality, that probably counts for a lot as well. And like you say, buck the trend with the stability at Bromley, which has been good for you guys, certainly, because it gives you the stability whilst you're sort of building and establishing in League 2. But I think just in terms of the style of play of Bromley, probably is a good one to sort of talk about. Usually, from what we see, it's a 4-2-3-1 formation. Cheek is a lone man up front. I mean, do you feel that's your best formation? Do you feel that there's, when you're looking at the season, how you've played so far, is that something you feel the manager could change up, or has the ability to change up at all, Andrew?
I mean, you mentioned 4-2-3-1. I would argue probably the formation we play is with. We normally play with 3 centre backs, 2 wing backs, 2 midfielders, and then either 2 attacking midfielders and Cheek up front by himself, or we'll play Cheek and Kabamba up front, and then a number 10 in behind. Normally, Corey Whiteley or Ben Thompson, maybe, or Ben Crowhouse, who we've loaned back from Brentford. I would probably argue it's either that or the 4-2-3-1. I mean, we played 4-2-3-1 against Cambridge and against Crewe. Against Crewe it worked. Against Cambridge in the first half it didn't, and then we made changes. And then we went then to 3 at the back, and then 3 at the back, and then 2 wing backs and some more midfielders and 2 strikers.
So moving forward to Saturday, we've sort of, you give a mix of different formations that are likely. How do you see the game going in the respect of the way Bromley will approach it, how you think the Dons will approach it, and, basically, what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, I've seen you're the top scorers in the league, and I've seen you've got the second best defensive record in the league. So that worries me slightly. We're not exactly...
And we're unbeaten away from home, but you're unbeaten at home, aren't you?
Exactly. So
don't tempt fate, Cole.
So someone's got to give.
Both ways.
Somebody's got to give. Somebody's got to give on the weekend.
Or we shake hands and take a draw, and then we both keep our records. But I think we will probably try and play for the clean sheet and try and nick a goal. That's generally what we tend to do against teams who are quite free scoring, and that's generally how we've built our success. I mean, the amount of times last season where we'd nick a goal and win 1-0 or win 2-1 or we'd nick a draw.
Well, you beat us 1-0 at our place, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I was there. It was a great day for us, that.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just touching on that, I mean, for me, like the Hayes Lane Stadium has always been somewhere that seemed, and again, your record shows it as well, but it seems to be a really difficult place that teams struggle to go. I know when Colin and I were there last season, it felt like a really tough game. It was a really hard place. So do you feel that's a factor as well, playing at home in the ground, and the crowd are quite close to the pitch? Do you feel that has an impact, Andrew?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think last season, because we were a bit of an unknown quantity, and when some of the bigger clubs came down where you got bigger stadiums, there's a bigger gap between the pitch and the fans. It was a bit of a culture shock for the players to be like, right, you're maybe 2 or 3 yards from the person on the terrace. And I think our home record was okay last season, but it could have been better. I mean, it wasn't like a fortress where, teams were coming knowing they were probably going to lose. But equally, I think something I said earlier, we're a team that we're tough to play against, and if you're going to beat us, you've really got to put a lot of effort in, and I think that plays into our home form as well. Like, it is a tough place to come because it's a bit of a culture shock, and when the crowd gets behind the team, especially from the North Terrace, then some teams have crumbled.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, talking to the fan base, how have the fan base found the sort of? I mean, again, obviously coming up last season, this season, have you found like there's been more fan interest? More average gates. How has that been for Bromley overall?
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably if when we was in the National League, we were probably averaging around about 2,500 fans roughly, whereas last season you would say it was 3,000 or more, and that was even before we had, because we basically rebuilt the East Terrace. So you'll notice if you're coming on Saturday, you'll notice we've got a whole new stand. So even that we were selling out most games, and that was with our capacity, or even around about 3,000 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I think definitely over the last few years, our fan base has definitely grown. I think people are realising, there's a football league club in Bromley just down the road. Like, I might go and have a look and see what it's like.
Yeah.
No, fantastic. And talking of the new stand, I mean, how's that gone? Because obviously, I think last time we were all there, it was all the open terrace, and obviously, I know they've revamped that. How has that gone? Is that going to be predominantly for away fans, home fans? How is that looking to be set up?
It is predominantly. You will be relatively in the same place in the stadium, but you'll now have. I mean, the stand's a bit bigger, so you'll be, if you're on the back row, you'll be up a bit higher. You'll be pleased to know there's a roof, so if it rains, you won't get wet. I mean, the facilities are still to come in their fullest, but you'll still be able to get like the usual, pie, beer, stuff like that. So, it's been great because it's really improved the stadium and the facilities will get better. And it is part of the growing pains. I mean, because we've been a non-league club for hundreds, 100 so years. So we're still sort of coming from non-league to football league in terms of the off the pitch stuff.
Yeah, the adjustments, as you say.
Mm.
Sorry, Colin, I thought you were going to say something.
No, well, I was going to say, we've weighed up most things. I mean, we haven't talked about your gaffer, Andy Woodman,
Yep,
who's former Cobblers goalkeeper. Yeah, happy with him?
very very happy. I mean, I started coming to Bromley under our previous manager Neil Smith, and when Andy Woodman came in, he transformed the club in terms of he professionalised a lot of the things off the pitch and also on the pitch. Like there was some games where, even in the National League and even last season, where you look at it and you go, under our previous manager, we'd probably have lost that. And ever since he's been with us, we'd always had something in the postseason. So we snuck into the playoffs in Andy Woodman's first season. We then won the FA Trophy against Wrexham in 2022. We then had 2 playoff campaigns. The second one where we got promoted, and last season was the first.
That was against Solihull Moors, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
On penalties, I remember watching that.
Yeah, when Byron Webster had the infamous smirk at the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, to put into perspective how well Woodman's done, last season was the first time under his stewardship that we haven't had something to look forward to once the league season's finished.
Right.
So that should tell you how well he's done. And he's brought through some brilliant young talent who we've sold on to. It's like we sold Kellen Fisher to Norwich, who he brought through the academy. Ben Crowhouse, who we've loaned back. He got a permanent move to Brentford a couple of years ago in our promotion season. And yeah, we've seen some fantastic players because of his connections. So like we had Danny Imre on loan last season, Crystal Palace, who's now at Blackpool. I mean, he was absolutely phenomenal. We had a young player from Swansea called Cameron Congreve. We got him because his son was at Swansea and knew the kit man. So, it's not just how well we played on the pitch; it's also like the contacts and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, just from what you're saying there, Andrew, do you feel like Bromley's becoming a feeder club? Like again, because obviously you in a situation, because obviously we've been there until recently, but like you're having to sell to bring in, or you're having to do that. But from the connections you've got, do you feel like that's something you're seeing more at Bromley? Is that younger talent from sort of the higher up leagues coming down, and that becoming more of a consistent theme? Would you say at Bromley?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think a few years ago, Premier League clubs would have turned their nose up and gone, "Oh, I'm not sending someone to Bromley." Yeah. Whereas I think they can now see that Andy Woodman gives them a chance, and they go on to flourish. So yeah, I think a lot of the higher up teams now, and even players, they look at us, and it's not so much a case of like, or Bromley's the last resort. Now a lot of clubs are thinking, and players are thinking, well, yeah, I wouldn't mind sending my player to Bromley, or I wouldn't mind going there. And it's also the fact that we have a squad. I mean, Andy Woodman always says, I don't bring idiots into my squad. We're very much a team that's together.
Yeah.
So fantastic. It's things like that. So yeah, I think it's definitely a club which teams now look at and go, yeah, I wouldn't mind sending my lone player there, or players go, yeah, I wouldn't mind coming to Bromley.
No, fantastic. I've got a question on the Facebook page. I don't know if you're going to know this, Andrew, so apologies. But Helen has asked, are there more ladies' toilets at Bromley now? So I think that was an issue for away fans last year. I don't know if there's any developments when the stand was redeveloped, if the facilities were as well, or if that's something you're aware of.
I would probably guess not. I haven't actually been into the new stand yet because I'm over the other side. So I wouldn't like to comment, but I'd probably guess just because the facilities aren't fully ready, I'd probably guess no. I think it's basically just Portaloos over there at the moment, but eventually they will get permanent toilets, I'd imagine.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Well, fantastic.
Andrew, I'm conscious that we've had a very busy show tonight and time is of the essence. So if you don't mind, I'm going to bang you straight through. Prediction. And I'd just like to remind Aidan, I got it right last week, 3-1.
You did. I said 3-0.
Do you want to make a prediction?
Sure.
I mean, I run my own Bromley podcast, so I'm going to stick with what I said now. I said a 1-1 draw.
Right. Well, you won't be the first person that's predicted a draw. Everybody this season has predicted a draw against us.
Well,
I mean, it's not a shock.
I said Lou put up a comment here. He said Bromley worries me a little bit, to be honest. He said still have a bit of PTSD from last year. I can understand that, Lou. I can understand that one. Colin Gidds, one of our viewers, has said 3-1 Dons. He thinks Cole. So that's one that's just come in. I mean, for me, I don't know. It's like you said. I don't know if it's the right phrase, Andrew, but I always see Bromley as a dark horse in League Two. I think on their day they can beat anyone. But it's consistency that's probably the issue for you at the moment. But it's a difficult one to go, Cole. It's a difficult place to go, and it's going to be, it's just going to be one of those. The crowd are going to be on top of you. It feels like a narrow pitch anyway. I think we've got the quality to do it. Certainly, I mean, we've been on an exceptional run the last 3 or 4 games. If I have to stick my neck on the block,
get off the fence.
Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking narrow 2-1 to us, but I don't think it will be an easy game. I really don't. I don't.
No, I don't.
I think Bromley bring a lot of threat. There, the way they play as well. It's a lot, a lot of sort of balls are compressed through the middle of it as well. So I don't think we're going to get the run of play.
We also very rarely get beaten by like 2 or 3 goals. It's not.
Exactly. Bristol Rovers said that the other week.
That's all right, Cole. Fair enough. But no, on all seriousness, I think to Andrew's point, I don't think Bromley are going to be an easy team to break down. I think we can do it. But again, I know I keep saying this is a cliche, but whoever scores first has kind of got the advantage because then it opens the game up and the other team has to chase it. I think we'll probably score first, but I don't think that means that we'll run away with it. I think it will be a tight game, and I can see it being a 2-1 to us, but I think we know we've been in the game afterwards. Just on that point, before we come to yourself, Cole, Ryan said, we are get my teeth in. Sorry, Ryan. We're on a roll. Bromley should be scared of us 3-0. So he's quite confident. Matt's gone similar to me. He said 2-1 Dons. Got my crew prediction right, so I'm hoping for more of the same. So,
while you're watching, everybody, put your predictions up and Aidan will read them out. Can I have a prediction?
You can do, Cole. Go for it.
Okay, I can't see Bromley not scoring, and obviously it's going to be Michael Cheek. But what I've seen in the last few weeks, I can't go against us. I can't. But we've scored 12 goals. 12 goals in the last 4 games. I'm going 3-1 Dons.
Okay.
It might be all bets are off if Bromley score first, but I think if we score first, that might open Bromley out, and they won't be able to hit us on the break. They'll have to come out, and I think that could open the door. I mean, you know what happened when other teams have had to come out, and Bristol Rovers were chasing the result, and they came out, and we exposed them dreadfully, and a little bit Crew, Bristol Rovers. Cheltenham, teams like that, they've all tried to do the same thing. So the first goal is obviously going to be crucial, like we agree. If it's Bromley, I might say a draw, but if we score first, I'm saying we're going to go on to win.
Yeah, I think, to be fair to your point, I think, like you say, Pinnock, you think of him, you think of Kabamba.
We've got to shut these people down.
Well, I think you've got to show respect to Bromley, and again, for me, that's
agree.
why I say they've got some really good players there, and as Andrew's been kind enough to say on the review, they've brought some good players in on loan. It's done them well. I think they're really well organised. Their manager, someone I respect highly for what he's done on a very limited budget, is exceptional. So, yeah, like I say, I'm with you on it. I think we've got the ability to win it, but I think it will be a hard game.
I mean, in the last few weeks, we've looked at some of the teams we've played, and I've said to you that they've had a very gentle introduction into whether it be home or away or what have you, and they haven't really played anybody. We're probably their biggest test. Personally, teams like Bristol Rovers, Gillingham, Crewe, they've all been found wanting. And I think on our day, if we can hit that, we will win. I'm not saying Bromley have had it easy. They certainly haven't. I mean, they've played Chesterfield, Gillingham, Barnet, and they beat Crewe. So, we know they can do it. But like we always say, any team in League Two can beat any team on the day.
I mean, and I'll go to the point, Cole, Accrington Stanley, at home and things like that, So, again, it depends how that team sets up. And, you look at some of those results, there are, like we've always said, I always say this, and it's just for Andrew's benefit, but you've just mentioned that, and this league will punish you if you allow it to. But
if you take your foot off the gas, you will get your ass kicked, and that is the thing that worries me about our lot. That if at some stage they think they've only got to turn up to win it, and we know we've been here before. Where we've strung a few results together. You'd think they're playing someone down the bottom of the league, and all of a sudden, bang! You take Accrington last week against Swindon.
Yeah.
I mean, who saw that coming? I mean, it's mental. 4-0.
But that's why I go back to that point of you look at Bromley. I think they've got the makings, and again, you see
certainly,
a very well drilled side. So, I mean, on that point, I think for me, Bromley this season, again, Andrew, I know you've touched on about sort of flirting with the playoffs. I can see you being there or thereabouts if you carry on with the consistency. I do think you've got the ability to do that. We've seen teams like Salford, and a few others that have surprised people in this league. So there's no reason why Bromley can't do that. And again, the results that I've seen so far have been respectable results. So I generally, obviously, apart from the weekend, but I generally wish Bromley well, and I do hope you have a good season.
Yeah, you too as well.
And,
except obviously not Saturday.
Yeah, well, exactly right.
Well, we appreciate that, and if that's okay.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, thanks for having me on, and well done on getting to 50 shows as well.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
Well,
and
so
before you go, Andrew, what's the name of the podcast, just so we can let everyone know if they want to listen?
It's the Bromley FC Breakdown Podcast.
There we go. Bromley FC Breakdown Podcast, everyone. If you've got time, give it a listen. Give Andrew's perspective and the Bromley side as well. But Andrew, look, thank you so much for joining us. As Colin said, we'll hope to invite you back for the return leg. And hopefully both of us are doing well when that happens as well.
Cool, yeah. Thanks very much, guys.
You take care. Thanks for take care, Andrew.
You must be sick to death of it.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Andrew.
Guys.
Take care, mate.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Take care, Andrew.
Bye.
What a lovely guy.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We've been blessed with some knowledgeable people.
Yeah,
and respectful.
Yeah, and I will say, look, just for people watching, Andrew asked to remain off camera for the show. We respect everyone's right to what they wish to do. We respect that. And again,
it
really
was Johnny Jackson, wasn't it?
No, it was not at all. He was far too eloquent to be Johnny Jackson.
Yeah, that's true.
I know. But no, really good input there from Andrew. Really appreciate it. And again, I think, like we always say, no game's easy in this league. But
no, not at all.
I'm with Lou. I'm with Lou on this.
If Bromley score first on Saturday, I shall be properly concerned.
Yeah, and I mean, like Lou said on the earlier comment, that he's got PTSD. I still have a little bit from Bromley last season. They're one of the teams that I think could cause problems, particularly at home. Maybe not so much at Stadium MK.
I mean, just to put it in a bit of perspective, they beat us 1-0 at Stadium MK last year.
They did.
We had 70% of the possession, something of that nature, anyway. And we couldn't break him. I think we had 2 shots on target all game. So that just shows you. I mean, I know we have risen beyond.
Well, it's one of those, right? It's like for me, I mean, last season was
a much better team, but
we are a much better team. But again, Bromley for me are Yeah, it's a well drilled side. They are. I mean, but again, I think it could be 2-1. It could be 5-0. Who knows on the day? Who knows on the day? But
well, as long as it ain't 5-0 to Bromley, I'll be all
well,
right.
yeah, it's one of those. I'm in this paradox at the moment, and maybe some others are like this, where we've done really well for the last few games. I really want to get carried away, Cole, but the history in the past of where we've been always pulls me back to that pragmatism.
I'm almost loath to say it, but you know what we're like,
Yeah.
And it goes on every week, and you think, oh, bloody hell, they've done it again. Oh, bloody hell, they've done it again. And you think to yourself, are we just one game away from...
Yeah, I mean, look, talking of that, whilst we're here, I mean, the feel-good facts is certainly back at Stadium MK, and when you talk to the fan base, at least, I mean, the last 2 or 3 games, it's not the fact that we've won, it's the way we've won, Cole. It's been exciting football. We've taken apart a few respectable teams. Now, Crew, some people have argued we didn't play so well in part, and
I don't think we played as well as we can.
And I don't, but that's the making of a good team. If you're not playing well and you're still winning games,
and you're winning,
what are we going to be like when we do click in?
By the way, if it's okay with you, we'll delay that shirt giveaway till next week when we got a little bit more time, because somebody inadvertently gave the answer. I'm not going to tell you what it was, but somebody inadvertently gave the answer, and I thought, bugger, I can't do that now.
Well, no, exactly.
So we'll have a little think about that, and we'll give the shirt away next week.
What I want to do, because obviously time is running on, but I'm going to put on Luke's Pain Player review because it's a 4-minute masterclass on the review.
Oh, I can go for a
Jimmy Riddle. Yeah, exactly. Right?
Excuse me.
Exactly, but we'll put that on, and then we'll do a quick wrap up of the Crew before we finish up, Cole. If that's all right. And I've got Yvonne's thing I want to talk about as well. So.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Look forward to it. Go for it. Roll VT.
Right, we've got another game to cover, and this time it is Crew. Now, I wasn't actually at this game, so I'll be going off of extended highlights, press conferences, all the rest of it, all of that side of things. But I've got to say, it looked like another sort of thoroughly professional performance. Obviously, we did concede one right at the very end, but I think you could put that down to McGillivray just misjudging a cross into the box, and I know he had a little bit of a knock at us shortly beforehand, so benefit of the doubt on that one, especially given how late it was. It didn't necessarily matter all that much, just slightly frustrating. But I've got to say the goals were very impressive, actually, all 3 of them. It's worth noting that all 3 were first-time strikes, and that's the sign of players that are playing with confidence. I think the first goal and the third goal especially, there's plenty of times where you'd see a player take a touch before hitting that, or just simply ballooning it into row Z. But no, we kept our heads down as we hitting them, and it was just very well placed, very well controlled. I liked the opening goal, just the whole move of it, and then the composure of Ekpiteta to hold off his man, tee it up for Collar, and then obviously, as mentioned, a lovely finish as well. Second goal, fantastic high press. Big fan of that sort of thing, especially against the inexperienced Crew side. Perhaps a little bit lucky that the ball made it through to Gilby, but after that, I mean, it's just another good finish, isn't it? It's good composure. And then the final goal, to this day, I still don't understand why Nemain didn't shoot. He should have shot and got the goal himself, but still, good footwork and a good move to get in behind down that right hand side, and again probably the finish of the lot, to be fair, from Gilby. But still, it's a good win. It gets us into the top 3. That's obviously where we want to be. But there is actually something I picked up on in the post-match from Paul Warren. He was going on about wanting to be the best set-piece team in the division, which to me is very topical because our next game is against Bromley, who probably are the best set-piece team in the division. They've got 19 goals this season, 11 of them are set-pieces, and another 2 on top of that are penalties, so technically set-pieces. So 13 out of 19. But then by comparison, we've scored 26, and I think 10 of ours are set pieces. So we're not that far behind. It's just we've scored a higher proportion of goals. But Bromley are pretty heavily dependent on their ability to beat teams on set pieces at the minute. They do have a few sort of lump it forward and try and get a shot on goal within a few touches. They do a bit of that sort of thing as well, so they will be quite direct. But it's very much the physical battle that we're gonna be looking at. I'm looking at players like Jack Sanders, Marvin Ekpiteta, Callum Patterson at the other end. We're really gonna have to be on it, because if we make a single mistake, especially from a set piece, I would expect them to capitalise. I know they haven't been on the greatest form of late, but Bromley are still a good side, and obviously going away there as well isn't going to be easy. But yeah, like I said, this will be a good test for us, because I think typically the way Bromley set up is sort of the way that they're the sort of team we'd lose to, put it that way. In previous years, they are just the sort of team we'd lose to. They are a very League Two, very physical side. Within the laws of the game, to be fair, I don't think they're the worst for gamesmanship. There are certainly a few worse teams for it, but they are going to be a very physical test. And put it this way, if we can stand up to them, we can probably stand up to anyone in this division. So it's a good opportunity, because obviously another win would keep us in that top three. And now it's just about keeping that run going as long as we can, keeping the unbeaten away run going as long as we can, because that's obviously still going strong. And if we happen to get a cameo of Aaron Collins or Gethin Jones, who appear to be back in training, then even better, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty optimistic coming into this one, but it will be a very tricky game. Come on, you Dons.
A man after my own heart, Luke. Thank you very much, because, yeah, I think it'll be a tricky game too. By the way, Cole, my badge just fell off because the pin broke, so that's fun.
Well, I hope that's not a sign of things to come.
Well, I think that's just the quality of the. It's not the quality of the shop, is it? But it does have a nice little stand on the back. So,
Oh, right, okay.
I'll use that. Anyway, great review. Thank you to Chris Kamara, the Luke Payne review. As always, we really appreciate Luke's input on that. Yeah, I mean, some great points were raised. I think the crew game. Look, I appreciate we're sort of running on time, Cole, but I thought it was a good game. I know we didn't play that well, but to win. And to be fair, I did think that ref was shocking. Some of the decisions were
terrible,
just
awful,
atrocious. And the linesman, by the way, on the Club Red side, I thought was equally diabolical.
What is it about the Club Red side referee? I don't get it.
I know I did. No idea.
I'll tell you what got me. The worst thing that got me was when Nemain was taken out waist high on the halfway line, and the referee never even spoke to him. And then, literally about 2 minutes later, Nemain did a little, I don't know, he put his foot on top of the other guy's foot, sort of thing, and he booked him.
Yeah, I know. You couldn't make it out.
Mental. I really thought we had a red card coming. I really did.
I did. Yeah, I did. And I mean, it's frustrating, but like you say, referees, I get it, they're not perfect. They're only
One man.
There you go. Payne review, apparently. Cool. That should have come on at the start. For some reason, some glitches on the system tonight, obviously for the 50th.
In the Matrix.
Where would we be without a glitch on Don's Unplugged, Cole?
Indeed.
Indeed. But no, I just thought the consistency of the ref was just shocking, because it's like, no one's perfect.
And he's an experienced referee. That was Craig Hicks, experienced referee.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, for me, Cole, when you've got decisions that are just so wide apart for very different scenarios, where one's got away with it, the other one's got a card. That's where I always struggle. Yeah. And I can't help but say
I've got no problem with consistency, but it's got to be down the middle.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, and I know we say this in the cowshed, but I still think there are referees who just do it because of who we are, and we can never prove it, but it feels like that even to this day. And that was a great example of it. Was it the worst refereeing of this season?
It's one of the worst.
It's got to be up there, Cole. It's got to be up there.
Yeah,
right, but we'll see.
Craig Hicks, you're a bloody disgrace.
Well, exactly. So just to do that.
We're hoping for better from Kirsty on Saturday.
We are. Do you know what? I will say this, and I don't want to jinx it. Every time we've had a woman ref, I've actually been really impressed, because they actually seem to be...
I mean, I can't remember the name of that lady ref before.
No.
But she's a VAR referee now, and I thought she was brilliant.
There's a lot to be said, and you might laugh at me for this. I would personally have a woman referee in all the EFL games, full stop, because I think it stamps out a lot of this rubbish that we see, the inconsistency.
Yeah,
and there just seems to be a lot more balance.
Well,
and
they certainly don't talk back to the lady.
No,
referee.
The players respect it because they're not going to start shouting at women.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of time for that.
Oh, hang on, I better not do that.
Exactly. Yeah. So there we go. As I say, Matt's just a few comments before we go on to my last thing. But 2-1 Dons. Got my crew prediction right, so hoping for the same as what you mentioned a bit earlier, which 100%. Harry said, out of interest, what transport are you guys using to go to Bromley? I'm going to be driving down personally, Harry. I think the coach sold out pretty quickly. There are rail links down there as well. Ironically, from Leighton Buzzard, I know a few people are going from there because it's a direct, I think it's half-hour in or something like that, so it's pretty quick.
Okay.
So worth having a look at if you're going to go on train.
Sold out, apparently. We didn't get a lot, but we sold it.
400 and I think it's 420 or thereabouts.
Yeah, something like that.
Ryan says it's going to be a game for Alex Gilby will hit his hat trick. I mean, it'd be nice, Ryan, but we'll see.
I love the way Ryan is so positive about it.
I love Ryan. He's great, right? He's absolutely brilliant. Arthur as well said, hi, Aid, are you receiving posts from Facebook? Yes, I am. And we have been putting them out. Unfortunately, we've got so many to go through, Arthur. It's quite hard when we're trying to run through everything. But he did say MK Dons 4, Bromley 2 as well.
Really?
Yeah, so there we go. He's feeling confident.
Nice one, Bomber.
Absolutely. Hopefully see you down there, Arthur, as well. Be good to see you. Yes, so the thing I wanted to talk about is I spoke to Yvonne on the weekend. Obviously, you know Yvonne who sits in the cow shed, Yvonne Howard. Now, I don't know how many of you know, and I'm sure she won't mind me saying, because obviously part of the reason I want to talk about what I'm about to talk about. Yvonne's daughter recently passed away from cancer.
Yes, I did.
It's been a very difficult time for Yvonne. And everyone concerned in the family, as well as you can quite imagine. Yvonne's not the sort of person that wants to talk about it to everyone because it probably set her off. But as Yvonne always does, Yvonne always tries to do and do something good out of an adverse situation. One of them, she has been running around across stage of MK at the sponsor night and a few other places to get, and I shall show you, the players to sign an away kit. So it's signed by this season's team. I don't know if you can all see that.
Right.
Paul Warne and Richie Barker, the lot, all on there. Now, what we want to try and do is raise some money for breast cancer and sort of, to put something back, because Yvonne would like to put some money back into something that has helped in a very difficult time for her daughter. So what we will be doing, I'll take some photos, we'll put it up on the Facebook page. I need to arrange it a little bit with Yvonne to work out the best way to do this, and it will be in the next few days. But we want to try and do either a silent auction or an opportunity to bid on this. All of the proceeds are going to go to charity. So I would ask you all, if you're looking at this, to dig deep and be generous if you can. Also, any donations that you want to do to breast cancer as well, I'm sure Yvonne would be very grateful for that as well. Now, I know in the club shop, obviously, if you're getting that shirt framed, signed, currently they're standing about 250 quid for one of those. I'd like to see us match that, if not better it, for a great cause. So, like I say, I'll speak to Yvonne. We're going to work out the best way to do this. But as I say, it's for charity. It's for something that Yvonne feels passionate about because of the situation with the daughter and everything. But I would ask everyone who's watching, if you are interested, if you can help, please look to, when we do this and go live with it, bid on the shirt. We'll announce the winners, obviously, on the show as and when that finishes up. But we'll also try and work out ways for people to donate if you just want to donate a small amount as well. So no silly offers. Obviously, we're not going to sell it for five quid or whatever like that. But again, if it's a silent auction, it may be that we just have a direct mailbox where you send it in. The highest one will win, and we'll announce that. It may be that we do something on eBay, whatever. We're trying to work out the best way to do that. For the next few days, we'll on the Facebook group. But like I say, just to show you again, they've all signed it gladly, and obviously they know the situation as well. So they all took the time to come and speak to Yvonne to get this signed. But you've got a cracking third shirt there, signed by all the players, Paul Warne, Richie Barker, and the backroom staff as well. So an opportunity to get involved and raise some money for a really good cause, but more to come on that, Cole.
Yeah. Well done.
Good
Big
stuff.
love, Yvonne. Big love, Yvonne.
Big love to Yvonne as well. Absolutely
Yeah.
that. And I know, as I say, we're seeing her at Bromley this weekend. And hopefully, when we get this set up, we can start seeing some offers drip in. We'll get some good news for the charity for it. So yeah, that was pretty much it from me. So I know we've got our giveaway shirt. We'll do next week. That's last season. This is this season.
I mean, basically, because somebody wrecked it and gave the answer, so I can't do that. No, you can't get the staff. Outrageous.
So there we go. But I think that's pretty much it. I don't know.
These are available in the shop. Look,
Cole, how much did it cost you out of interest? So everyone knows.
Can't tell you.
You can't remember. Anyway, on that,
I think it was about 20 quid, something like that.
Yeah, they do have a clock with the MK Dons new badge logo as well. I saw in the shop on Sunday. So there's a couple of options. Yeah, there's a couple of options in there now. The women's jumpers and hoodies are there. So if you come in the electric doors, if you're looking at the women's range, I know it was mentioned earlier on the show, but on the left-hand side, as you walk towards the counter, there's about 3 or 4 hooded tops. That's the women's range at the moment. That is expanding. You've got also the multi-sex hoodies on the right-hand side, which is the bigger piece where you've got the mannequins and you've got the big MK Dons badge as well. You've also got the jackets. You've got the signed shirts. You've got signed shirts and presentation boxes.
Are you working for Liam Latham?
Well, not at all. I'm just letting people know what's in there. So there's a lot. You've got the
dog leads, badges, coffee
dog leads, dog bowls, cat bowls, you name it. Most of it's there.
There's everything.
Welcome mats.
I even got a Don's front door mat.
Yeah, same.
And I've used that as the dog's bowl. I've put that mat under the bowls. Yeah,
fantastic.
So like a little splash
and they've got bar mats. They've got bar mats in there as well.
I never saw half this stuff. I couldn't get out of there quick enough.
I know, exactly. But no, I tell you what, it was great. It's great. And it's
really,
really
pop down there again and have another look, I think.
Absolutely. Yvonne has just said thank you, by the way, on the Facebook group. So she's
Yvonne, you're welcome. Let's hope we can raise some money for the cause.
Yvonne, we will do what we can to get some money for that. I say Colin and I will put some money in on top of that anyway. So whatever, we'll both put our hands in our pocket and put some money in for a good cause, because that's what we do. That's what we do. But
I might even bid for it. I don't know yet.
Well, if you can, Cole, it'd be fantastic. There we go. I can take it offline. No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, absolutely. We'll do the bids offline. I need to just refine it, because what I want to make sure is whatever we do, the costs of doing it are nominal, and obviously the majority of it goes to charity. So Just Giving and things like that, there are other brands available. Some of those charge a fee, and I don't want to be doing that for everyone. I want it all to go to charity.
Indeed.
But yeah, I think that's most of us done, isn't it, Cole?
Well, I think we had a good show.
We've had a good 50th. I think we've had a really good 50th.
You feel any older?
I feel a little bit more, worn out. But I mean, again, I will say thank you to MK Don's men's team and the women's team, obviously, but the men's team for actually having a good run for the last few weeks. That Colin and I aren't stressed, feeling miserable, strung out like we usually are. It's nice.
Worry-free.
Yeah. And then, did you hear the old MK Always on My Mind song came back in the castle?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. I've got to say, I think the fans have been absolutely brilliant, especially away from home. Yeah. And looking forward to more of the same on Saturday. So get behind the lads, and get behind the code breakers.
Yeah. Code breakers. Yeah, I wonder if that will become a thing at Colin will push. There we go.
Drop the Dons, code breakers. We could be code breakers unplugged then.
Cole, you can't do that. I've been a long-standing
I'm only joking, by the way.
Dave Bost, our MKDSA colleague on here, has gone. He said, I'm bidding for a great cause. So again, thank you, Dave. And again, I will make sure. Might take me a few days just before the weekend. I'm just trying to finalise a few options, and I'll let Yvonne know what they are before we do it. But I'll make sure it's on the Facebook group, so that, again, I'm sure the Facebook group will help plug it as well. And anywhere else we can share and build interest in it would be great. So really appreciate the good gestures, and really appreciate it.
Anything else on socials? Anything else?
Well, Dave again. Dave just said great show as normal. Thank you, Dave. We appreciate it.
Dave,
and, also, Dave, I just have to say, the new MKDSA website is up, everyone. If you are looking at it, it's a good site. It's they've done some good work on this. So I appreciate the effort you guys are putting in as well, Dave. Especially with the coach travel for Bristol Rovers. It was really a nice gesture. So thank you.
And you heard us talking to Liam earlier on. Yeah, if you haven't already been in the shop,
get in there. Why haven't you been?
If you probably walked down there on Saturday, you'll open the door and you saw it absolutely mobbed out and thought, "Oh, not this week." Get down there. Yeah, mate, I've got stuff everywhere.
I've got about 5 different. I've got the. I have to say, I went in the shop on the weekend, so I bought the one with all the kits on. But the first one I got, we took it to the counter. The guy picked it up to scan it and dropped it and smashed it. I turned around and was like, there's got to be none left, and there was one left, Cole. So I'm grateful. The poppy and the club badges are on the counter if you do want to do that, guys. Obviously for the Poppy Day appeal, really nice badges to be fair, and I think they're only £4, but it's obviously for a good cause as well.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
So get down there, check the shop out. I guarantee there's something in there.
Get yourself down there. If you can't get down there on a Saturday, guess what, guys? It's open on a Sunday. No excuse. No excuse. There we go. I think that's us done, Dave.
Colin, my name is.
No, I say Dave on the thing because he said thanks. He said thanks on the Facebook. So yeah, we're done, Dave. So thank you. But Cole, we are, I think, officially wound up. Happy 50th.
Yeah, thank you very much.
May I just say before we finish up tonight, long may this continue. Long may make it into the 100 and up. But I would personally like to say thank you to you for making this such a pleasure to work with.
That's all right. Yeah, that's no problem. Me?
Yeah, you.
I thought you were. I was joking for a minute. Yeah. I mean, I'm thanking to you as well. We couldn't do this show without each other. It would be bloody awful. Just sitting here talking on your own for 2 hours.
Well, especially if someone crashes on their webcam like a few seasons ago.
Well, I uprated my internet, so that hopefully that never happens again. So so we've had a great night. I really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the last 50 shows. Here's to the next 50. What can we say? But up the code breakers.
Yes, up the code breakers indeed. Or come on, you don't. Here's to Saturday. Hopefully see a few of you guys down at Bromley. Looking forward to it. And again, thank you to everyone who watches the show and who's been with us for the last 50. We do it for you guys. We couldn't do it without your support. We really appreciate everything you put into the show in the comments as well. We do have a few new content things coming up. A few new people might be getting involved, but I'll leave it there.
Are you going to take me through that off air? Can we talk about that off air?
Absolutely.
I look forward to that. So the quicker we get off air, the quicker you can tell me.
And the quicker you can get off air and go to bed. Yeah.
So I think there's only one thing left to say, isn't there?
I don't know, is there?
Yeah, I think so. Say good night, Aidan.
Good night, Aidan.
Good night, everybody. Come on, you Dons!
Come on, you Dons. See you Saturday, everyone.
Take
Take
care.
it easy.
Safe travels to Bromley.